Boy, oh boy, welcome back, Patriots, to the Bald Brad Show. Don't know what's going on with the lighting, but let's go ahead and fix that really quick. A little unprofessional, but no, it's on as bright as it is. Looks like things might be lagging a little bit, but that's okay. We're here. There's quality. There's video. Patriots, it's good to see all of you in the chat. And boy, oh boy, if you weren't with us last evening, yeah, we're going to start maybe doing two-a-days now because there's so much news that there's no possible way that we can do this in the time span that the show allots. We do about an hour-long podcast every single morning, right? Well, with how Trump is working here, we got to start working too. So Trump, big news yesterday, says that the United States will take over Gaza, basically turn it into a Riviera, and displace all the Palestinians to other countries. When I say I think all of our jaws hit the floor together as a community during that live stream last night, I'm not far off. I think we're all like, we didn't know what to say. We were bewildered. If that was on our bingo card, we would have all missed it. There's no way in hell. Danielle with the $5 out of the gate. Thank you so much, Danielle. And by the way, Danielle, I think that was you that emailed me yesterday, right? I think that was pretty sure that was you. But good morning, everybody. It's really good to see you. And let's kick it off because we got a lot of news to cover. And I don't know what's going on with the lighting right now. It's weird. It's almost like it's all glitchy. Is it glitchy for you guys too? Might as well get this handled now. Really weird. I wonder if that has to do with Rumble's update. Rumble did update their stuff. All right. Quality seems a little weird. Like, I look like I'm fake. All right. Anyways, let's get into it. The United States will take over Gaza Strip, Trump says during Netanyahu press conference. Folks, huge news. This is like people protesting at colleges again, right? Doing their little powwows, shutting the places down, destroying things when they're protesting, destroying things, shouting, basically exterminating the Jews, which they were already doing. Seconds after he announced this, by the way, there was already protests. Bonkers. Really, really bonkers. So President Trump announced during a press conference with the Prime Minister of Israel on Tuesday that the United States will take over the Gaza Strip. I mean, let's hear from the man himself.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Now, there's partially what Trump says is true, partially probably going to piss a lot of people off. And before we get into further news, let's all wish Barb a happy birthday. She's watching the show. It is her birthday. And we all are a community here. We're a family of patriots, and we want to make sure we give a shout out. So happy birthday, Barb. Another year of joyous life. And what better way than to celebrate it having Donald Trump as your president? Isn't it awesome? So everyone's giving you shout outs, Barb. Everybody over at Rumble, YouTube X, it's amazing. Party poppers. Happy birthday again. Thank you so much, George, for the $5. I'm not on board with the Gaza crap. George, I think we got that vibe yesterday. I saw what George was writing. Yes, I'm pretty sure, George, you're in the chat yesterday. If I remember correctly. Anywho, so Trump says he sees the United States having long-term ownership and is open to sending troops if necessary, which, I mean, that's how else are you going to be able to do it? The only other route would really be there's a couple routes, would be having Israel sending in troops, which we know people aren't going to like that because the surrounding countries, let's be real, don't like Israel. That's always been the main problem of the issue here is people don't like Israel. They don't want Israel to exist. And so that's why you don't want the Iranians to have a nuclear warhead. Well, you could, in theory, have surrounding countries get involved and bring in their own troops and basically having one giant kumbaya to clear the area out. We're going to break this down, folks. I'm going to give you my take and everything like that. So everyone I have spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be a magnet. Again, it almost seems like he's talking about making it a vacation spot. I'm assuming the people he's talked to are obviously pro-Israel because the other nations have already come out and said, hey, we don't like this idea. We're not on board, kind of like George. I think the potential of Gaza Strip is unbelievable, and I think representatives from all over the world will be there. Maybe. So here he is, talk about resettlement of all Gazans. So I'll make sure I cue this up for you. And for some reason, again, I apologize for the lighting, folks. I don't know why my camera's not picking it up.
I mean, we're talking about probably 1,000,007 people, 1,000,007, maybe 1,000,008. But I think all of them, I think they'll be resettled in areas where they can live a beautiful life and not be worried about dying every day.
Wow. I like how he just says it casually. Yeah, we're gonna displace like 1.7, 1.8 million people. That's a huge thing. That is a tall order. A very tall order. And like I said, I told you last night, I made a promise that I will give you my opinion and what I would like to see happen. Travis over at Rumble, thank you, man. Always coming in hot, dude. Thank you. Trump is saying that he will get the Palestinians out of there before it is fixed up. Even if it does happen, no one wants them in their country. That is correct. And that's kind of the issue we're seeing right now. And I guess that kind of segues me into my next bit, where the surrounding nations have already come out and said, we don't want these people. Now, this is not the only time they've said that. When you had the initial October 7th attack, and Israel was going in basically just bulldozing the place, turning it into a parking lot, everybody had to move to one section of Gaza, right? Because they're about to just, like I said, bulldoze the upper half and move everybody south, or vice versa. Well, people are saying, hey, let's open up the gates here and allow people to go into the surrounding nations like Egypt and others, fly them out, doesn't matter, and make sure these people have like a safe haven, because I think we can all agree their home is about to be completely just bulldozed, gone, just rubble. Well, nobody, and guys, when I say nobody, there is not a single nation out there that is willing to take in the Palestinians. Now, I've always said I got no skin in the game. I'm just some dude sitting back, just watching it play out. If you're a Palestinian, there has to be some sort of self-awareness of asking yourself, why do countries that even agree with me in terms of faith not want to take me in? It's odd, right? I'm not saying that they don't have that wherewithal, that thought process, but there has to be that thought process going, why does nobody want me? What is so wrong with me that even the countries that I agree with on most things don't even want to take me in? You got to think. So most countries don't want. And Trump, in that same presser, was thanked by Netanyahu for seizing funding to UNRWA that has been funding terrorists, removing sanctions on Israeli civilians, and renewing the maximum pressure campaign against Iran just 2 weeks. This one's a no-brainer, right? Anything against Iran that's negative on them is a no-brainer, considering they've tried to kill both those guys. You see these two guys right here? Yeah, they tried to kill both of them. So Iran is on Trump's bleep list, even though Trump yesterday said, I would love to make a deal with Iran. The only thing is they can't have a nuke. That is literally it. Literally it. Only just no nukies. No nukes. But he said, he's like, look, I like the Iranian people. And it was saying really nice things for a government that was trying to assassinate him and still was saying very nice things. So kudos to Trump for doing that. Here's I played that for you guys. But let's play it again.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
That part I do agree with, that end part. You have to do something different or else you're just going to end up dealing with the same stuff. They're going to rebuild, right? That's going to take like a decade, maybe longer. Depends on who's doing it. And then what's going to happen is they'll promulgate or puppet up, it depends, another government system if nobody's taking control over it, like the United States or Israel or somebody. And that government could be a terrorist organization. And then they'll start shooting rockets again into Israel. And it's just going to keep repeating itself. And this is the definition of insanity. So I do agree something has to change. I personally don't think a two-state solution is going to work. You're going to need somebody in there. United States, Israel, Europeans, the United Kingdom, hell, I don't know. Somebody that has their head on straight somewhat to fix it. And I don't think having an Arab state, and what I mean by that is a country that doesn't want to see Israel exist, having them be basically a neighbor, like a direct neighbor, probably not a good idea. So Trump comes out and says that he's going to permanently again relocate all Gazans, which you just heard, in meeting. Now that's 1.7 million people, folks. That's not something you just do over a weekend. And as I mentioned, where are you going to put them all? Because nobody wants to take them. So that's kind of Trump's first step there of trying to figure out where you're going to place all these people. Now, here's my take on it. Thought about last night, and it's not a joke. I really got off. I sound like Joe Biden. It's not a joke. I don't want Trump to do it. I don't want Gaza. Now, how did I get there? Well, this is how my thought process works. When there's laws being passed, my first question is always, how does it remove or shed or trim away the liberties and freedoms of not just myself, but my fellow countrymen? Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. That's usually my first thought process of how does this play out? Well, here is we're $36 trillion in debt. I'm a fiscal conservative. We don't have the money to be worrying about rebuilding other countries and turning it into a Riviera. And quite frankly, there seems to be a lot more work that needs to be generated there. And we only have 4 years to make America great again. We need to focus on America right now. We don't need to be focusing on Gaza. What do I think's really happening? I don't think Trump really wants Gaza either. Trump knows property. Trump knows real estate. He knows it's just sand and dirt. Nobody wants to go vacation there. Nobody. Even if you have a Trump Tower there, nobody wants to go there. Trump knows that. I think it's a negotiation tactic. And he knows that when he says something so bold and so big that even his own supporters like us, our jaws are dropping to the floor, that's where people start turning heads and going, I think this guy might be serious here. I think he's going to be, I think he might be actually taking over Gaza. So I think it's a chip. It's a negotiation tactic to get people to the table. I mean, folks, we're all sitting here as his supporters going, yeah, actually I don't even know what the guy's going to do. And we know him pretty well. Now imagine people that don't know him well going, oh shit. So I think it's to get people's asses in gear and start meeting and negotiating and seeing what's going to do with Gaza. I don't think we're going to be taking it. I don't think we're going to be displacing Gazans. I think whoever takes it over might be doing that, but we'll have to see. Now, Ben Shapiro did have a solid tweet last night and brought up the same idea that we did. And again, I apologize. I am so dark. I don't know what's going on here. Had the same take. And let me just read this really quick. So undoubtedly, the most extraordinary and unexpected element of Trump's first term was him remaking the Middle East with the Abraham Accords. He achieved that Nobel Prize worthy accomplishment by thinking outside the box, recognizing actual hard realities and ignoring the conventional idiocy of the blob. Excuse me. I'm still a little under the weather. He's doing the same now with Gaza. The vision is absolutely transformative. I mean, that is true. I mean, you're literally displacing everybody right in the rebuilding. Everybody's saying, okay, I'll get to that in a second. Whether this is his final vision of the region, a negotiation tactic to achieve better deals, that's what I think is going on, or something else, there's no doubt that Trump's creative thinking is breaking the mold and changing things. Let Donald Trump cook. And I think he's cooking right now. Oh, I think he's cooking. Now, what is he cooking? I'm not exactly 100% sure. And quite frankly, nobody is other than Trump. We're going to see it play out. Brad be looking like a Muslim terrorist with the dark lighting. Yeah, I've been told that I look, when I grow out my beard and stuff, I've been told I look Middle Eastern. It's funny, and I'm about to get to the next bit, so we're kind of done with the Israel stuff. Like I said, my take is I don't want it. We don't have the money for it. It's going to cost billions of dollars to develop that. You got to ship everything over there. I don't think Israel has much interest and much money to really partake that much into rebuilding it. So it's going to be all on our shoulders, meaning we're going to be footing the bill. We don't have the bill right now. We don't have the money. We're $36 trillion in debt. We're trying to cut right now. Not what we need to be doing. So no on Gaza. And I think actually a lot of patriots agree with that take. Did you change a light bulb recently in that room? No, I mean, my light's the same. I don't know what's going on. Actually, it might be my camera. Let me see here. Hold on. It's bugging the hell out of me. That's down. Hold on. I don't know. It's supposed to brighten up. Here, maybe if I just sit closer, we'll do this. No, I really do think it's Rumble Studio. Something's going on here. Something weird. All right, doesn't matter. Moving on. We got news to cover, folks. We're 21 minutes in. The lighting will have to, but even I'm like glitchy. I don't have a new hairdo. I'm still bald. Leave me alone, Disney. So Pam Bondi, though, switching gears here. Pam Bondi is confirmed. So now we can start actually getting some real stuff done. The next three after this is Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., and then Kash Patel. Then by next week, I'm hoping you should really start seeing some crazy stuff. Kind of like that Doc Brown quote where Marty is in the parking lot with him at the beginning of Back to the Future. And Doc goes, when this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit. We're not at 88 miles an hour yet, and you're seeing stuff happening. Talk about transformative. Folks, I'm just going to highlight again, she's almost 60 years old. I mean, her and Caroline Levitt look like sisters. She's almost 60. Caroline is 27. I don't know what she's doing, but make America healthy again, Dave. On Tuesday, GOP-led Senate confirmed Pam Bondi, and this news of this confirmation last night overshadowed Trump saying, I'm going to take over Gaza. I'm going to displace 2 million people. It's mine. It's beachfront property. People were more interested in Pam Bondi getting the vote to become the attorney general than Trump taking over Gaza. How do I know? Folks, we were all here together. Weren't we looking like, why is nobody covering this? How is this not trending on X? Everybody wanted to be talking about Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi this, Pam Bondi that, bomb, 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 ba-dum, bomb, ba-dum, bomb, bomb, bomb. So good pick. Joey's probably crapping his pants right now, along with the Democrat Party, and we know the Democrat Party's crapping their pants. I mean, the left have been just insane these last 2 weeks, and we knew it would happen. We knew. So good for Pam, Pammy Mammy, and hopefully she gets to work here in the next 2 hours. Get to work, Pam. Now, illegal immigration news, folks. And this is a move that this is one of those 40 chess moves that were there that I don't think any of us really thought of, but Trump did. United States begins flying illegal aliens to Guantanamo Bay. And it's not just that. I got another thing that you're going to love. Oh, do I got another thing you're going to love after this? Right after this article that has to do with illegal immigration, you're going to love it. So Trump is taking illegal aliens out of the United States and sending them to Guantanamo Bay facility in Cuba. Trump administration continues to work to prepare the naval base to serve as a detention center for tens of thousands of migrants. It's going to be able to hold 30,000 at a time. So, hey, Colombia, you don't want to take them in? That's okay. We're going to take them to Guantanamo Bay. Yes, where we harbor the worst. They're the worst. Criminals, terrorists, everything. You don't want them? That's okay. We'll keep them. We'll do heinous things to them. I'm kidding with the heinous things, but you get it. The first flight scheduled to leave today, which was yesterday, from Fort Bliss in Texas, has roughly a dozen illegal aliens on board. I would like a little bit more than that, make a little bit of an impact and a difference. While the base is currently equipped to hold 120 illegal aliens, Trump administration said they're going to bolster that bad boy to 30,000. The flight comes less than a week after President Donald Trump announced that Guantanamo Bay has historically been used to deter terror suspects and will be used to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. There you go. So Democrats are going to complain about this. Excuse me, I wet my whistle. Like I said, I'm still under the weather. They're going to complain about sending criminals, murderers, sex traffickers, drug traffickers, and people that have raped a bunch of people. They're complaining about sending these people to Guantanamo Bay. We said this yesterday. It's the wildest thing you'd ever see. So Christy Nome was posting some photos, just a little bit of what that looked like, of some illegal aliens being sent. And remember how they're all complaining? How could you shackle them? How could you treat them so bad? Why don't you go ask the family that they just got done killing? Look at that. Beautiful plains, American matured. Notice they all have tattoos. Now, this next part, I am a freaking giddy schoolgirl. What are they doing? Trump calls up the president of El Salvador and goes, Hey, Bucco, hey, yes, no, it's Trump. How's the Diet Coke I sent you? You guys have much of that there? Yeah, it's okay. It's on its way. Hey, how about you taking in some criminals? So, there's a facility in El Salvador that holds a lot of gang members. You think Guantanamo Bay is bad? These people aren't ever getting out. I've showed footage of this. If you're missing the footage of this facility, it has, if you are a gang member, that's it. I mean, there's worse people in here. I'm just saying that's like the bottom line. If you committed a crime or you're a gang member, you go to here for life. This is their sleeping quarters. You go out maybe 1 hour a day, maybe, or not at all. I'm going to say that again because I think people don't, I think they think I'm joking. In there for life. You're not getting out. The president of El Salvador on Monday night offered to incarcerate the illegal aliens in the United States in his country for a relatively low fee. I hear it. Look, hey, he's making a deal. I'm hearing you're giving me a discount. Sounds good. Travis with the $5. Thank you so much, man. Some money in honor of Rumble's delicious 1775 coffee. Hell yeah, Travis. It's good stuff, man. It really is. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for supporting the show, you guys. We also have a goal over at YouTube as well. And, well, would help to support the show. George says, you look much better with light fading and low. Damn you, George. I'm being made fun of. This is huge news, though. I love this, and I really do hope Trump takes him up on this. So he made the offer over X while U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio visited his country as part of an extended trip throughout Latin America to shore up support for tackling illegal immigration. We have offered the United States of America the opportunity to outsource part of its prison system. That's great. Phenomenal news. We are willing to take in only convicted criminals, including convicted U.S. citizens. This is awesome. Into our mega prison in exchange for a fee. This is huge. Folks, the people that are serving life, it might very well be cheaper just to send them here with these guys than it would be to keep them here based on how much it costs our system. Now, when you're talking to a fiscal conservative, I am salivating out the mouth. Can you imagine put our worst criminals with these guys? These guys are way more hardcore than a lot of the psychos that we got. I mean, please don't. Please don't. This facility is nuts. I want to see, here, I'll pull up some pictures, but there are video of these facilities and people have gone in there and tried to talk to these guys. And so this is the facility. No, this is not a microchip. And these people don't get out. This is what it looks like. They just sit in here. Notice there's no playground. There's no office space where you get a TV, you know, and you get all this leisure, you get furniture. It looks like an apartment building. No, this is what it looks like every single day. The president of El Salvador has turned El Salvador around. So this is what it looks like. I'll give you guys a little bit some clips here. I'm going to mute it because sometimes they hit me with copyright strikes. So this, as you notice, they're all tatted, right? Because they're all gang members. And they're in there for life, for just being a gang member. And they chose that life. So that's where we're going to be sending people, hopefully. I'm as serious as a heart attack, man. I hope Trump sends people there. There is the homicide. I guess it doesn't want to pull up. I'll show it right here. You could see the homicide rates in El Salvador from 2014 to 2013. Look at that. Since this guy's become president, look at that right skewed distribution, man. It turns out when you remove the criminals from the streets and you lock them up, well, they can't go commit crimes. None of this is that hard to understand, but for Democrats it really is, man. For Democrats it really, really, really is. It turns out when you have consequences and you act upon those consequences, you see change. And because we live in a society right now, Americans in general, they have consequences, but those consequences, which are just rules and laws, don't actually get followed through on. People just keep breaking those consequences. And that happens in all facets of life. That happens with people parenting. They're not willing to put consequences on their kids. And as an educator, I see that all the time where I get phone calls. Oh, don't tell my kids I'm talking to you, please. They'll get mad. What the fuck? You're the parent. Who cares? Like, it's wild stuff you're going to see, to the point where now we're not even locking up criminals for burning down buildings. You just had massive protests in Los Angeles, all across the area. I want you guys to guess. Here we go. We can do a game in the chat. Get the chat involved a little bit here. In Los Angeles, we all saw the protests that have been going on the last few days, blocking the 101 freeway multiple times. One of the arteries of Los Angeles. Millions of people were affected. How many, give me a number, how many people were arrested by LAPD? I think it was like 500, 1,000, 5,000. How many people do the Patriots think LAPD arrested for these protests? Toss a number, baby. I'm willing to wait. Dave says 0. And while we're waiting, thank you, Q1969. Always supporting the show. Have a great day, Patriots. Thank you, Q. We hope you have a great day as well. Thank you. Wow, Q says 0. Everybody's saying 0. Well, damn the Patriots. This is why our community is the best. We're intelligent. We get it. Correct. LAPD made 0 arrests. Amazing. Thousands of people breaking the law. You know there had to be at least one illegal alien in that crowd. Nothing. That's Gavin Newsom for you. Well, more illegal alien news. Border czar Tom Homan. I'll prosecute New Jersey governor if he's concealing an illegal alien. So this came out. This is how bold Democrats are. And again, You could be bold like this when you live in a country that doesn't follow up on their consequences and nothing happens. This is why Democrats feel so comfortable just saying stuff out loud, because they know at the end of the day, nothing's ever happened and nothing probably will happen. And I hope Tom Homan does show up to this guy's house. President Trump's orders are Tom Homan, having been alerted to New Jersey Democrat Governor Phil Murphy admitting he had an immigrant who lacked full documentation residing in his home and daring the federal government to try and get her. This should have been taking place 24 hours or less right after he made this, and get the news cameras out there. Speaking at a public event with Blue Wave, New Jersey, Murphy bragged that New Jersey was the lead state in challenging birthright citizenship. There is someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And what we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage, and good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her. Well, I mean, if the feds want to get her, they're going to get her. So here's Tom Homan. And he ain't messing around. He's almost hoping. He's licking his chops. I want it.
Let me read a headline to you. Chicago leaders encourage residents to exercise their rights in resisting Trump's deportation policies. The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, basically admitted that he knew somebody that didn't have full documentation, that he was hiding over his garage.
But there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Your comment on all of that?
I think the governor's pretty foolish saying what he said, because I got note of it. Won't let it go. We'll look into it. And if he's knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien, that's a violation of Title 8 United States Code 1324. I would seek prosecution, or the secretary would seek prosecution. So maybe he's bluffing. If he's not, we'll deal with that. And as far as suing sanctuary cities, well, get in line, because the Trump administration is going to do that already. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. There's one example, right? If the young sanctuary cities in New York City, if they would have gave us over the killer of Laken Riley when he got arrested in New York City for endangering a child, he would have been in jail, and he would have never killed Laken Riley. Sanctuary cities are responsible for deaths of thousands of young children throughout my career, and we're going to sue him. We're going to hold him. And look, if he's got to go to the Supreme Court, that's what President Trump wanted to do. He will end sanctuary cities.
You know,
it's just clear. I mean, this whole Trump administration is not just transparent, or at least has been for the last week and a half, or 2.5 weeks, just clear. So now that we got Pam Bondi in, F around and find out, I guess. What's that guy's name again from New Jersey? What's that dumbass's name? Phil Murphy? Prosecute him. I mean, you have him on tape admitting that he's doing something nefarious, right? I mean, but we all know how that works, right? Joe Biden can go on TV and do a quid pro quo, and he's fine. Look, nothing still happened to him, and it's been years. It's been years and years and years. Little Onion, I wish you the best of luck in accounting. And I'm glad that you had some inspiration here from the Bald Brad Show. My best advice would be to know the basics extremely well, know your debits and credits. It's a lot of memorization. All accounting is reporting. You got this. When it seems hard, you power through, you don't give up, and you will achieve your goals. So I wish you the best of luck on that one. Joanne says, would be fun to see him prosecute him. Yeah, damn right it would be. Damn right it would be. That's Tom Homan for you, doing the Lord's work there. And that guy has not stopped working, man. I mean, these people have families, you guys, and like they're just completely sacrificing time with their loved ones to take care of America, which is nice to see. Now, it's not just the dude Murphy from New Jersey that wants to defy orders. Well, you also have New York Attorney General here wanting to tell hospitals, or is telling hospitals, to defy Trump's order, continue trans procedures on minors. Yo, this is nuts. This is how bad Democrats want to castrate your children. This is odd. And they're all for it, man. Folks, we all been around for a while. Some of us are older, some of us are a little bit younger. I'm turning 36 soon. Can you imagine? I'm gonna be generous. 20 years ago, you just sitting having a cup of coffee, right? And you just over here, yeah, Jimmy over here is gonna get his pee-pee lopped off next week. Hand to God, anybody in here, you all would be like, what the fuck? What'd you just say? But yeah. We came to the decision that, well, Jimmy thinks he's a Jenny and he wants his pee-pee lopped off. He's 4. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna have his pee-pee lopped off next week. Everybody in here 20 years ago would probably be calling child services to show up like now. Now it's like, oh, really? Wow. Well, I have a doctor I could recommend. My girl, even though it's a boy, got his pee-pee lopped off at 3, so we're better than you, bitch. It's like, whoa. These people, man. I'm telling you, we live amongst some really big psychos here. We've normalized certain behaviors that are so atrocious that when you talk about removing those atrocious behaviors because it's been normalized, you seem like the crazy one. That's where we're at as a country. She warned hospitals in the state against canceling appointments for transgender procedures on minors, you guys. I'm not talking about 18-year-olds. Anybody in the chat that's into some weird, kinky stuff, look, some of us, not all of us are vanilla, okay? Not all of us are conservative in the bedroom. You could go have your kinky, weird stuff all you want. I don't care. I get some people are into some weird stuff. But we're talking about minors. You want to be 18, go chop off your boobies and get a fake pee-pee from your forearm. That's your life, man. I don't agree with it. I wish you the best, and I hope you get what you want. I'm not for harming children and getting surgeries that are, it's not reversible. Once that pee-pee's gone and incinerated somewhere, it's done. So this comes after President Donald Trump signed an executive order to protect children from irreversible surgeries and hormone therapy. In a letter sent to New York healthcare providers on Monday, James said that hospitals have obligations to comply with New York state laws, adding that refusing service to transgender individuals goes against anti-discrimination laws. Can we pause for a moment? Can we just pause? Let's just pretend for one moment it's not 2025. And you're sitting there reading a history book from the 40s. And you're reading a chapter on children being castrated in hospitals. And you hear about a leader going, I don't want children to be harmed. I want them to have their peepees and genitals intact and not being modified in some way, shape, or form with hormone enhancers and puberty blockers. You'd be like, man, that guy's pretty solid. That seems pretty common sense. And then you keep reading and you see that there's some just psycho group going, we're doing everything we can to cut off peepees and boobies and all that stuff to minors, to like 12-year-olds. Hand to God, if you're reading this in a history book, wouldn't you be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? In the same way, remember how like they're basically killing people on like those pyramid steps, I forget the country, South America, and ripping out their hearts alive, kind of like you saw in that Mel Gibson Apocalypse movie, and throwing them down the stairs. They did like 80,000 people in one day or something like that. We all look back on that going, man, it's pretty barbaric. Oh, it's pretty crazy. They're tearing out hearts to people that were alive to sacrifice to the gods. To them, it was normal, right? Oh, I guess. Fuck, dude. So anyways, that's what's going on. Thought you all would enjoy that one. Get the hell out of New York. Jesus. That's evil shit, man. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. That's evil. I guess I shouldn't even be saying I'm sorry, man. Wait till they're 18. You're 18 on your birthday. Go down there. Fine. See you later. Peace out. But until you're 18, and even then, I would say wait till you're 25 to 28 in that range before you make that full switch. Because then at least you know your brain's somewhat fully developed and the frontal lobe is probably intact unless you're beating your head against the wall. That's responsible for decision making and long-term growths and outcomes and be able to actually understand what those growths and outcomes are. Once that frontal lobe's fully developed, well, hey, then maybe you can make a rational decision. But we're supposed to be the parents in the room. And now you got a society that's crippling. If you have parents that are making those types of decisions for your kids to go lop off their pee-pee, I don't know. So let's do a little bit of a transition here. If that one bit right there of that transition joke doesn't get me a like, I don't know what will. I really don't. Sometimes I crack myself up. All right. So President Trump finds out by Peter Doocy that that Joe Biden is going to be taking over the TV show Tales of the Crypt. Joe Biden got an agent. Joe Biden was picked up by a talent agency. This guy. Now he's going to be playing the corpse in The Walking Dead, the upcoming new reboot. They're in demand of zombies. Here's Donald Trump. Even Donald Trump can't believe it. Finding out that Joe Biden was picked up. And this is a real reaction. This is a reaction that I would have. Just be like, are you shitting me?
Joe Biden signing on with a talent agency.
You gotta be kidding. He signed on with a talent agency?
He does. He's got some entertainment agents now.
I think he's got bigger problems than that. I really do. I think he's got much bigger problems than that, but I wish him well. We inherited a mess. This place is a mess, but it's quickly being solved, the problem. We're going to make America great again. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. What do you think about
Trump's looking kind of small in his suits, huh? He's losing a lot of weight, man. He is losing a lot of weight. If he were to gain weight back, he won't look as old as he is. He would still look like, man, this guy hasn't aged. I don't know if he's eating healthier or he's working out or what, but man, his suits aren't fitting just as not as they used to. I just like this reaction right here, right there. Like, are you shitting me? That's a real reaction. That is a guy not hiding it. We've all, boys, I mean, even the ladies too. Boys, we've had that reaction like, yeah, Tom hit Tom hit a hole in one. Like, fucking really? The guy doesn't even know how to swing a golf club. Like, what? We all been there. Talent agency, my ass. He has no talent. Let me show you. I want to show you. This is Joey's new role. Give me a second, folks. I got this. It's gonna be worth it. This is Joey. Some might say this was Joey during his administration. But this is Joey's new role.
You know, dead people like me make excellent point guards. When we can't get off a shot, we simply pass. Away, that is.
Now, if it means anything, it initially went to Bernie Sanders. And, well, he dropped out, so Joey was up next, and this is going to be Joey's new role. And it's on a budget. So they said, look, we need somebody that's not going to require any makeup. It's not too far off. No, are you kidding me? And this is a good shot of Joe. Tales of the Crypt, it's coming back. No makeup required. Look at that. Just have him chauffeur him out on stage. The one thing I wanted to get to yesterday that I didn't is Donald Trump talking about leaving instructions if Iran assassinates him. First of all, what a terrible thing to even have to think about. That he has to live his life, for the rest of his life, by the way, knowing that there's hit teams out there, no matter where he goes for the rest of his life, that are going to try to harm him. Did you guys see that guy that tried to climb the White House fence yesterday? And how long it took Secret Service to get there? Now, there was snipers on the roof, and I'm telling you, the snipers were licking their chops. Just out there, just waiting. You see that fucking guy, Ben? We've been waiting. Right? It's like a tiger inside the zoo waiting for somebody to hop the fence. Just waiting, just fucking waiting. And they were praying. The snipers were praying the guy made it to the fountain. Please, Please. That's what they were. They were waiting. Well, Trump revealed on Tuesday that he had a contingency plan in place and had left instructions with regard to how the United States should respond if Iran ever succeeds in assassinating him. It's only a few words. Bulldoze it. You would probably see the Iranian government cease to exist.
And their proxies who have threatened.
He looks good there. It's just angles, right? He's looking filled out here. It's just angles. Because this is the same time. And the suit's filled up. It's just angles.
To retaliate against you. And
looks good.
By killing you guys for taking out Soleimani.
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do, not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That'd be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why, lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader, or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran. So I'm signing.
Man, that is, and I really do mean this, that is one you really, out of anything that's happened so far, that is one that you don't want to F it around and find out, because I don't think anybody's going to have qualms with, you just probably started World War III. You just killed a sitting president. Man. Good luck with that, man. Because that you, like I said this yesterday, you put a finger on Trump, I'm okay with Trump bombing the crap out of you. Well, Steven here with the $2. Thank you. Wow. Why are demon rats, or demo rats, same thing, so fixated on transgender? I'm right there with you. I don't know. I really don't know. It's, I trust me, I try to rationalize it. I actually read a lot of books to try to understand the other side. I just can't get there yet. George says, if it was stress, wouldn't Trump lose his hair like you? Damn it. First of all, George. Second of all, Trump is actually thinning. Trump's hair has been thinning. I don't know if you noticed. I've commented on it. His hair, he has a different hairstyle than he did in 2016. So you don't really see it here, but I'll actually show you. Before, this used to swoop a little bit more, but now this area here is actually pulled forward a little bit, and you could see it receding right here, but you could see through his hair right here. This wasn't like that before. So yeah, he's stressed. And by the way, this didn't just happen overnight, like, right? Wow, I got elected to start losing his hair. No, a lot of people noticed it before. And look, it's just happens to do with age. Still a great looking guy, bald or not. I think he should shave his head. He'd look like a badass. People don't mess with bald guys. Now, speaking of demon rats, we got Democrats panicking. Democrats are crapping their pants over everything. From Donald Trump trying to stop them from castrating children, to trying to leave the states and give the states the right to choose if they want to do abortions or not. Meaning, hey, Democrats, if you want to kill people, go ahead, meaning babies. It's weird, right? They're trying to kill babies, which are just minors. They're trying to lop off the genitals, the peepees of minors. Really weird. They're trying to castrate them by giving them hormone enhancers and puberty blockers so they can never basically get aroused in the future again. I don't know what it is with Democrats and doing some weird shit, but they are into it, man. They are bigly into it. Well, now they're panicking because their money laundering scheme is over. And boy, is Elon, folks, I have to keep saying this. It's only been 2 weeks. And Elon has found out so much crap that it's not surprising, but it's also just mind-blowing of how much this guy's uncovering. So as Twitter began to gain popularity over 15 years, millions of people in Cuba were looking for a similar website that could use to send short messages to the world. It was a difficult process. Twitter itself, because Cuba's communist government restricted internet access, so there's a big untapped market there. Fortunately for Cubans, a relatively quickly emerged alternative. It was called Zunzino, which is a Cuban expression that supposed to sound like the noise of hummingbird makes. So we had Twitter and they had a knockoff. Even though it was pretty cheap knockoff, however, the application quickly became popular, getting tens of thousands of users in a matter of months. There's a purpose to this, I promise. The creators of the app had obtained a list of 500,000 Cuban cell phone numbers from somewhere, presumably the black market, so they were able to pitch the program directly to users, meaning they falsified the information to get this going. And cell phones were the key to the whole business model. And this Cuban, basically X, was able to evade Cuba's internet restrictions because it relied entirely on text messaging and cellular services. After just a couple of years in service, this application abruptly disappeared. It just went offline without any warning whatsoever. No one had any idea what happened to it. It wasn't until several years later that we learned the truth because of an investigation that was published by the Associated Press. It turns out that this app was secretly created by what? The United States Agency for International Development, the USAID. Yes, the government's International Development Agency had created a social media app in Cuba without telling anybody and paying for it with your tax dollars. Weird, right? Oh, this is all supposed to be pro-America. Oh, no, it's pro-America, you guys. This is where your money's going to. And 50 million allegedly with condoms going to Gaza. Now, we all know it wasn't for condoms, right? We all know what it was for. Well, Elon Musk is refusing to let Schumer get the final word on Doge because he's getting rid of the USAID. He's starting to find out what Democrats have been spending money on. They are all freaking out right now. He's going to find it. Oh, fuck, he's going to find it. Ilhan, what do we do? I don't fucking know, Chuck. You bitch, get off of me. So they're spazzing, man. Chuck Schumer has been busy criticizing cost-cutting efforts. I really don't know how somebody can be part of the Democrat Party. Look, I get their argument. Hey, I don't know how somebody can be part of the Republican Party. Sure. I really don't know how you can be a Democrat. Led by the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. But its leader, Elon Musk, is not letting him go unchallenged. Over the past couple of days, Musk used his social media platform X to deliver reports to Schumer's negative assessment of Doge, which President Donald Trump established by an executive order. An unelected shadow government is conducting a hostile takeover of the federal government. Oh, stop it, Schumer, you freaking idiot. He goes on to say, Doge is not a real government agency. It kind of is. But it kind of is. Doge has no authority to make spending decisions. Doge has no authority to shut down programs down or to ignore federal law. Doge conduct cannot be allowed to stand. Congress must take action to restore the rule of law. There is some truth to what Chuck is saying here because Congress has the keys to the purse. But what Chuck doesn't realize is the whole purpose of what Elon Musk is doing here is creating a ledger, a black book, if you'll call it, doesn't matter, a plan, and is going to present that plan on July 4th, 2026 to Donald Trump and saying, this is all the recommendations Doge has that should be cut. And then Trump goes, everybody see this in Congress. Because Congress is held by who? Republicans. Everybody see this? We need to cut all of it. All of it. Donald Trump's not even going to read the thing. He's just going to say, cut it. And then you send it to Congress. And what does Congress do? Because we have all the votes. You cut it. You cut it. Now, we'll see if Republicans have a spine. And boy, oh boy, am I going to be pissed if they don't cut all this stuff. Elon says hysterical reactions like this is how you know that Doge is doing work that really matters. That is correct. When you make a splash and you get the left to start spazzing out, you know you're doing something right. In the same way here, when we start getting more lefties in the chat and they start commenting on our videos and start harassing us, you know you're doing something right. When you start getting death threats, you know you're doing something right. This is the one shot American people have to defeat bureaucracy, rule of the bureaucrats, and restore democracy, rule of the people. I 100% agree with this statement. No qualms. And by the way, again, I've always said I would love to not agree with some people just to have more content, but he's right here. There's only one time I can maybe think that we were able to turn the ship around and we were close, and that was probably during the Reagan administration. Other than that, this is the closest we've been to really gaining ground here. and making a difference, and not just going to make a difference in our lives, but also our ancestors' lives, our children's lives, and hopefully not leave them with $36 trillion in debt. So here's Chuck Schumer acting like an idiot once again. Can't even, I don't know what it is with Democrats. They got to read from binders. They can't just come up with their own material and just speak like we're doing with an hour-long podcast. If he truly knew what the F he's talking about, he wouldn't need to be looking at a script going, well, the Republicans are trying to make.
And the American people, mark my words.
Yeah.
The American people will not stand for an unelected secret group to run
You can't see he's flipping the page.
Rampant through the executive branch. Being innovative is good. But Mr. Musk, this isn't a tech startup. These are public institutions that deal with things like Social Security and Medicare and national defense and provide for the well-being of the American people. And the American people have a right to be part of that debate. Part of that debate. The elections occurred, and one viewpoint got a few more votes than the other, but that doesn't mean we throw out democracy. That doesn't mean what's been done for centuries in this country should just go out the window and be substituted by a small group of people who think they know a lot more than the wisdom of the American people.
I don't think anybody's trying to make it seem like Doge has more wisdom than the American people, but they definitely have more information than the American people because they're the ones that gets to see the books. And I would like to see them start ripping stuff off and cost cutting left and right. And as I mentioned, if you could take things down to the individual level and it makes meaningful sense, odds are that you can extrapolate that upwards all the way to the federal government. And you know why he doesn't want this to happen. You know why the Democrats don't want it to happen, because that removes control of people's lives. When you need to rely on government to do things for you because you don't have any money, that's why people vote Democrat, because Democrats, that is their agenda. That is their whole platform. That is their foundation. Where Republicans and conservatives, we would want people to make individual decisions, have those liberties and freedoms to do whatever it is necessary for themselves to be successful in a free market and a capitalistic society and be able to flourish. But when you don't have any money to be able to do those things, you have to be reliant on the government, which is what the Democrats want. But the second you start cost cutting, you bring interest rates down. You bring interest rates down, now you get to refi your home. You refi your home and you ultimately get a lower price in terms of interest rates on the finance of your vehicle. Hopefully you don't buy a new vehicle, but you understand what I mean. Well, now you have more money in your pocket. And now that you have more money in your pocket, well, what do you get to do with that? You can put it in savings, you can invest it in different places, boost the economy. Well, guess what? Now that the economy is getting boosted up and you have low interest rates and also you have zero inflation, and now you have a surplus of money coming in because more people are paying taxes because they're making more money. Well, it turns out that you don't have to rely on government as much because the government doesn't need to be in your life because you're able to pay for things on your own. It's odd how that works out. And because you're able to pay for things on your own, you're able to live your life the way that you want to live, meaning you have control now over your own life, your own destiny, and your own success. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I wish I were. Actually, I don't wish I were, because I want you all to prosper. I want everybody to have a successful life and be able to make their own damn decisions. Well, again, it's not, look, these Democrats are freaking out, and this says it all right here. This right here. Okay. AOC says, Elon is not smart. She really said this. This is how stupid this lady is. She's a bartender, you guys. I'm pulling up the clip for you because you got to see it. It's unbelievable.
Is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart. And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of. But the point is that What that means is that they're going to hit a button, inevitably. They are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
Do you see her talk about morality? A lady that's totally for killing children, like live children out of the womb, and then also for castrating children. And she's going to talk to us about morality? Really? And then, dude, she has the balls to say that Elon Musk is not smart. And her reasoning is, oh, because he's hiring 19-year-olds. AOC, it was 19 and 20-year-olds that were some of the founders of this country, you dumbass. Just because you're 19 and 20 doesn't mean you're not super intelligent. I'm not saying all of them are, right? There's a lot of growing to do and most are not, but that doesn't mean you can't find those needle in a haystack that are just savants, which is basically what Elon did. So, goodness gracious. I had to make sure I showed that to you guys because it's just bonkers. Oh, we had more. Just so you know, Ilhan Omar, went after our service members right here in this clip. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to hear her crap, but typical, right? Typical. And then this is always great news. Joint U.S.-Iraq operation kills multiple ISIS terrorists in new strike. You didn't see this from Joey. You really didn't see it from Joey. But we just, if you're wondering, like, Brad, didn't we just have an airstrike like just the other day? Didn't we see like actual footage of it? Mm-hmm. We did. Yeah, Trump bombed the crap out of a bunch of terrorists. It's great. It's awesome. It's like fireworks. Boom. Boom. He goes, I made this joke, right? Hey, JD, you have time? Yeah, come in and have a diet with me, a Diet Coke. What are we doing? We're going to blow up some terrorists. I knew you would love it. Okay, see you in a second. You know Trump and JD are probably best friends, man. And shout out to Pete Hegseth, already making a difference. Look at this. Army set to expand basic training amid flood of new recruits. It turns out when you have actual leadership, people don't mind signing up for the military. It turns out when you had a bunch of men wearing women's panties and wearing high heels and skirts in the military, not exactly something that real men want to get behind, both metaphorically and literally. Yeah, that's not a thing. I don't want to be storming the beaches of wherever with a guy wearing a skirt that's flapping in the wind and I'm seeing his ass cheeks because he decided to wear his freaking wife's thong. Not a thing. Turns out when you get real men, right? Real men that want to get stuff done and ain't effing around for people to find out, well, people start wanting to join up. It's funny how that works. It's really weird. It's almost like biology. It's almost like, hey, alpha male. I would love to get behind an alpha male too. I think I'm alpha. We could do this thing together and really make a difference here for United States military, baby. Love it. Love it. Brad losing track of time or another day off. No, Wednesdays, I just don't have a meeting today. I got lucky. Got lucky. I know my schedule. I'm not losing track of time, folks. I could see it. And I have a timer, by the way. I have a timer. I've been streaming for 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 32 seconds. Come on, folks. You think this is my first rodeo? I'm in control here, not you. I love you guys. We have a good time. We really do have a good time. Or just me having a good time. But thank you for everybody that contributed to the show. Our goal was 10 super chats. It's okay that we didn't get there. It's just a goal. Sometimes we don't reach them. But thank you to everybody that really did contribute. You guys, it does mean a lot. It helps us with advertising. Again, it's the road to 100,000. We'll see if we could do it. I don't know. I don't know. We need 30,000 subscribers in 11 months. So you can do the math on that one. But I appreciate everybody contributing and helping out. Try to convert those subscriptions over to Rumble if you can from YouTube. Screw YouTube. And we'll be back here probably this evening. We'll see. There's so much news. But be on the lookout for evening podcasts. We'll be here. And if you're not willing to join in the evening, we'll be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of The Bald Brad Show. Have a lovely day, Patriots. Barb, happy birthday again to you. I hope you have a lovely day. Make sure Mike takes care of you. And with that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, Patriots.